Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Inflation could prompt largest Social Security cost of living adjustment in decades. Why there's a push to change the way it's calculated. Seniors could see a much bigger bump to their Social Security benefits next year. There could be as much as a 6.1% cost of living adjustment next year based on estimates from the latest Consumer Price Index data. However, a bill that has been reintroduced in Congress proposes changing how those annual increases are calculated. The Social Security cost of living adjustment for 2022 could be a 6.1% due to inflation, according to a new estimate. That would be the biggest increase since 1983, according to nonpartisan advocacy group, the Senior Citizen League, which calculated the figure. It also is a bump up from last month's estimate when the increase for next year was expected to be a 5.3%. The new estimate comes as the Consumer Price Index in June increased 5.4% from a year earlier. The largest gain since August 2008, higher food and energy prices were among the culprits that helped push the inflation measure higher. That helped estimate the Social Security COLA for 2022 higher. That annual change is calculated based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, or CPIW. Gasoline is particularly heavily weighted in the CPIW, which helped to push up the COLA estimate. Many seniors are also noticing higher prices at their grocery stores, according to Mary Johnson, Social Security and Medicare policy analyst at the Senior Citizens League. The COLA could be subject to change as there are still 3 more months of data to report before the Social Security Administration determines the official number for next year. One thing unlikely to happen during that time is any action from the Federal Reserve. Central Bank Chairman Jerome Powell said on Wednesday that the Fed is still a ways off from changing its policy. The Social Security COLA for 2021 was 1.3%. For many retirees, that meant just $20 more per month. Over the years, the increases have led to a loss of buying power for seniors, according to the research from the Senior Citizen League. One bill was reintroduced in Congress last week to change the way the annual COLA is calculated to better reflect costs seniors pay. The Fair COLA for Seniors Act of 2021, proposed by Representative John Garamendi, Democrat of California, calls for changing the measure to the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, or the CPIE, rather than the CPIW that is currently used. The CPIE may better reflect the expenses seniors face because it is based on items that people age 62 and older tend to use, including a higher weighting for healthcare costs, according to Richard Johnson, director of the Program on Retirement Policy at the Urban Institute. A bigger cost of living adjustment, a bill recently reintroduced to Congress, proposes to use the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, or the CPIE is the name of it, to calculate the annual Social Security cost of living adjustment instead of the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which stands for the CPIW. In most recent years, using the CPIE would have led to a larger cost of living adjustment. Annual cost of living adjustments rose by an average of 2.9% based on current methods from 1982 to 2011. The CPIE, by contrast, increased by an average of 3.1% during that time period, according to the proposed legislation. The co-sponsors for Garamendi's bills are mostly Democrats. In contrast, Republicans in the past have proposed moving to the so-called change CPI, which measures how people adjust their spending when prices go up. Switching to the CPIE will result in an additional increase of about 0.2 percentage points per year over the current index. According to the Urban Institute's Johnson, over time that has a big impact. He said, estimates indicate that after 25 years, cost of living adjustments using the CPIE would push benefits 5% higher. However, today's retirees might not see much of a difference because it takes years to accumulate, Johnson said. but making the change still makes sense, he said. The point of having these cost of living adjustments is so that the purchasing power of Social Security does not erode over time, Johnson said. If we're not using the right inflation adjuster, then benefits can erode. While altering the way the COLA is calculated is an obvious kind of change that we should make, according to Johnson, there is one thing that stands in the way: cost. It would worsen the trust fund's financial position, which is already quite precarious, Johnson said. It seems like this type of change could become part of a larger Social Security reform effort. President Joe Biden's campaign plans for Social Security included moving to the CPIE. One bill previously proposed in Congress, the Social Security 2100 Act, also includes that change. So, that's basically a little something for the old timers. If you have elderly person in your family, that's just giving them insight that they may raise the prices on Social Security, mainly the taxes on it, and just letting you know that inflation could mess up the adjustment. So they're trying to find a way to calculate it so it doesn't mess up where future people who want Social Security will be able to get it, and it won't hurt them as much. But me, by the time I get to 60, Social Security gonna be probably dead because I just don't see it, because this country's in so much debt and they continuously put themselves in debt. So it is what it is. But thank you for listening, and like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you like what you hear, you can donate to the page by Cash Apping me at the word welcome, the number 2, and HDIITV. Thank you for listening, and we are out. Deezy.